What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to talk about what's happening with the overall market moving forward, as we have Jerome Powell giving a speech in about 1 hour from now. Not to mention some new developments on the charts, but just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, as far as Tesla's going, as you guys can see, we're making attempts to rebound, at least getting close to these resistance levels. We're currently in this 213 area. And this is exactly what I predicted would happen yesterday, that Tesla might try this rebound. Now, whether or not we get a big rebound depends on Jerome Powell's speech, what we see when it comes to the way things are moving. Right now, just remember that Jerome Powell gives a speech at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for today. That's 30 minutes after the market opens. We have Powell opening his mouth. When this guy speaks, the market tends to move like crazy, so get ready for some high volatility 30 minutes after the market ends up opening. Now, Jerome Powell, upon his speech, he's going to be giving us a lot of insights about what the Fed is looking at when it comes to interest rates, what they're thinking about when it comes to the extent of their cuts. We'll have to see if he gives us information about that, not to mention the state of the economy. This is going to be very, very important, so get ready for this. So it's going to be very wild. Like I said earlier, I don't know exactly what he's going to say, so I can't predict the exact outcome. But I can tell you this, so far it is looking like the market's attempting to rebound a bit. And as long as he doesn't say anything that causes a rug pull, the odds do favor the market trying to rebound. So far I do see an attempt to be made. Besides that, I'm not seeing anything else that's too crazy about the markets except for this. Uber is once again potentially forming a partnership with that of GM to work on driverless rides, essentially, on the Uber platform as soon as next year. So this could be very, very competitive for that of Tesla with the robotaxi event. So we'll see how things go. This could be very, very cool for them, but like I said before, we'll see how that goes. This is still a big work in progress, especially for different companies. Now, when it comes to other pieces of news, right now you guys can see there's a 73.5% chance we get a 25 basis point cut and 26.5% chance we get a 50 basis point cut. This will be adjusted depending on what Jay Powell ends up saying. So get ready for some high volatility. For Tesla, we have two main headlines coming out. I didn't say anything too crazy on the news. Morgan Stanley is cutting its position in Tesla stock, especially after some news involving tariffs. But that's once again not a big surprise. You know, these big institutions tend to cut and enter positions like every week or so. So once again, it's something worth noting. I don't know the full extent quite yet, but I am seeing some headlines about that. There's also news that Tesla's vice president of finance and business operations is going to be departing after 11 years of work. So that's very, very important news. She was doing a lot of work for Tesla, helping them in a lot of different ways when it comes to their cash flow management, and then ramping up the Model S, X3, Y, and Cybertruck. So that's very important, not to mention the development of their new factories. So huge shout outs to all the work that was done. Her name is, I may not say this right, but it's Shrila. I may have said that wrong. I'm sorry about that. But I just want to say we really appreciate your work and we wish you all the best on your next chapter in life. So just wanted to call that out. Anyways, going back to Tesla, how are things looking? It's looking like Tesla's trying to push a little bit upwards. If we end up losing this support right here at 213, we could come down to fill this gap towards 212. The main support is 210. If we lose this, we do turn back to bearish. As long as we're above 210, this could attempt to rebound. And I suspect what's happening is we're trying to push back up to this trend line, back towards this 215 area. When Jerome Powell starts his speech, this might cause a push in the markets. I don't know for sure, guys, but we might see a push if we break past this 215 trend line. Then we'll be looking for like 217 and then possibly even like the 220 area. We'll see if Tesla breaks through the trend line or not. If we do break through it, that could be just a temporary move. But even if we break it, like I said in my video yesterday, the move may not last forever. Even going into next week, we could push back here, then eventually start dipping back down. So for now, I would say the odds are favoring a little bit of a rebound. We'll see how Tesla reacts to 215. If that breaks, we're looking at 217 and 220. Then we'll see if you reject or not. But for now, we are looking for somewhat of a bounce. I think that SPY is doing essentially the same thing. We're going to be looking at 560 as resistance. If this breaks, we could attempt to go back up to about 562. And if that breaks, we're looking at 563 and then 565 as potential, as potential targets. So I think that we could attempt to go a little bit higher. And we'll have to see if we try to break past these resistance levels. Jerome Powell may cause a temporary pump, but we'll see if the move lasts. Now, if SPY does dip, look at 558 as support and 556. If we lose 556, we turn back to bearish, and this is going to be start dumping to like 553 and 550. But for now, the odds are favoring us trying to rebound into like the 560s, filling these imbalances, maybe going a little bit higher. So watch and see if we break past and hold above 560 and start pushing for 562. Then eventually, possibly even 565 could come. That would be the next measured move. When you zoom out of SPY, we could be still forming this giant cup, just like this. The full measured move would be all the way up towards the just under 565. It is possibly pump a little bit, but then that does not mean we're going to last forever. We still have a lot of gaps to fill. Even if we gap up this morning, there'll be a lot of gaps left on SPY, so we could see a reversal soon as well. So we could push a little bit higher. I'll be looking to see if we hold above 560. Well, it also depends on what Jerome Powell says, and then we'll see how things go. Nvidia is trying to rebound just a little bit, so we'll see how we end up retesting 126.5, maybe 128 if we break past these resistance levels. If we end up losing 122, we'll be looking for a bigger dip down to 120. My gut tells me we rebound a little bit, but then we could establish a lower high and continue to dip later on. So don't be overly bullish. Jerome Powell may cause a temporary bounce, but we'll see if we get a rejection. Bitcoin's trying to rebound, especially in anticipation of Jerome Powell's speech. I suspect that we could be approaching 61,500, and we'll see if we get a rejection or not. For ES, we're trying to rebound. We could get very close to about this 5630 area. If that breaks, we're looking for 5650, and then we'll see if we break through that as well. If we do break that resistance, our next target will be all the way up towards the 5700 area. So it is possible to get a temporary rebound back up to the highs from yesterday, but then we'll see if we reject or not. So watch for that. The QQQ could also try to rebound. Like I said yesterday, we have not lost key support. This could be a temporary rebound, but then we could reject later on. So we might push a little bit towards the 481 area if we break past 480. And if that breaks, we'll again 482.5, 485, then we'll see if we get a rejection. But overall, for now, look for a little bit of upside and see how we end up reacting to these resistance levels. Jerome Powell does cause a lot of manipulation in the markets. Apple's trying to rebound. Look at 227 as resistance, 228, and then 230. We could support at 226. We could rebound a little bit more from here, but then that does not mean we're straight up just bullish overall. We could see a temporary push, but the market could still be in a topping process. Apple could push a bit, then get a rejection, so you want to be open-minded for that. For the IWM Russell 2000, we're trying to rebound. Look for a test of potentially 216 because we're holding the trend line so far. I think we could get close to the 216 area, but that does not necessarily mean we're just going to squeeze forever. We may temporarily push for 216 to 217. We'll see if we get a rejection again or not, but that's what I'm seeing from a technical standpoint. Coin could retest 202, if not 205 all over again, but then we'll see if we reject. We're just getting really tight right now, kind of building a nice looking wedge over here. So I think that this is what Coinbase is essentially doing, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I'll be watching this just to see how this develops. But there might be a little rebound, a push for 205, and then just consolidation. We'll see how that goes. Amazon's attempting to rebound. We're at 177. If we hold above that, we could get closer to 180 again. If we lose 177, we're going to be dipping back down to 175. If that fails us, 172 is coming. I think we might rebound a little bit more. We could get closer to 180, and then we'll see if we get a rejection or not. It depends on what Jerome Powell says. Meta is trying to push for this high right here at this 540 area. So we're starting to look a little bit more bullish on Meta. We could be looking for basically 544 and 540 as resistance levels. So for now, we are going to likely push a little bit higher, but we'll have to see if we get a rejection. So watch and see what kind of reaction we get. For Microsoft, we're kind of stuck in this very, very important range. I think there is some upwards momentum that's trying to be built. So we'll be looking for basically this 420 areas resistance. If that breaks, we're going up towards this 422 area. So I think 420 is likely coming. We'll see if we break that or not. I do think we're going to rebound a little bit more, and then we'll see if Jerome Powell causes a pump and dump or if we just keep going temporarily, right? Google may also try to rebound just temporarily. We're hitting 166. If we break this, we could be going for 168. But like I said before, there's no guarantee the move is going to last. So that being said, guys, Tesla's trying to rebound a bit. So we're going to be looking for this 215 area to see if we reject or not. We could try to break through this to get up to like 217 and 220. It is possible, but then we'll see if we get a rejection at one of those levels. Jerome Powell may pump things just temporarily. That does not mean it's going to last forever. And I'm not going to guarantee that this will happen. It looks like the market's a little bit more optimistic approaching his speech. So we'll see how things go. With that being said, guys, I really appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. The market's looking like it's trying to rebound just a bit. I did talk about that yesterday in my video about how, there might be a little balance with Powell, but then the move may not last. We could establish a lower high. Even if we break the highs, we could still get a big rejection as the market has so many gaps to fill, and seasonality could lead the market to kind of reversing. So you want to be very, very open-minded. Watch your levels very, very carefully, and we'll hope for the best. Thank you for listening, guys. Get ready for Powell's speech at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and peace out.